What's up, guys? So basically, I'm a fake Natty. You can turn the video off now. Peace. Just kidding. So as much as I hate arbitrary numbers, I'm not a fan of them. I don't think they determine Natty or not, and I think that's one of the dumbest things ever, to set these arbitrary limits and numbers and use them to determine somebody's Natty or not. And that's not what this is, of course. But I was talking with one of my clients, and we were kicking around some numbers and leanness and body weights, and I plugged them into an FMI calculator with my own estimation of body fat percentages, and like it was telling me percents of, you know, what it thinks the possibility of me being Natty or not. And I thought it was kind of interesting and intriguing to read it and see some of these readings. Again, this is not going to dictate anything like regarding my training or how I continue to train. I'm not going to change my training because of this. But I thought it was curious enough and would be interesting to look at and make a video for. However, I want it to be as objective as possible. So I got some friends to help with the body fat percentage, because it is subjective, you know, looking and getting eyeballs on them. So I didn't want to do that myself because there's obvious biases there. So that said, I measured my height with my shoes off and a pencil, and I made marks on my wall. And I'm probably going to have like an unlisted video in the description that's going to have that. It's going to show me, you know, weighing myself, just for, you know, clarity and objectivity, so you guys can see that. Turns out I'm actually 5'10", not 5'11". So I'm 5'11" with shoes on and 6 foot on Tinder. But anyway, the video's there to see that. I reached out to 5 people, 4 people got back with me, and I didn't want to delay this video any further, so that 5th person, call me. But anyway, I wanted to get these people's eyeballs, and I picked them out in particular because they've got their toes more in the bodybuilding realm. So I got basement bodybuilding, of course, hypertrophy enthusiast. My man Jeffrey Verity Schofield, also very much hypertrophy enthusiast. Bald Omni-Man Paris, very, you know, kind of that, you know, power building, if you will. He's definitely has a better eye for bodybuilding and that stuff than I do. And then probably the most qualified person here, Faz Lifts. He's actually competed on stage. He's coached people who've competed. So I was very happy to get him to give his estimates as well. I based, again, 5'10" for the height. The pictures I sent them, and I'll probably have them here. And then I also sent them a few videos. I'm not going to show those videos because it was for them, but one was me jumping rope, like with a front angle so they could see, you know, my loose skin in action. And then I sent them a video of me like at Sunday morning on 4 a.m. After having margaritas and tacos with my shitty lighting in here. It's dark and my ceiling light it's not anabolic at all. And that's what I wanted. I wanted to present my, you know, some of my better pictures, and then like my worst self on video. And like my camera is not the greatest, so it probably washes out even more. And there was a lot of me whining in that video about margaritas and tacos and lighting and my loose skin and all that stuff. But you know, I sent them plenty to go on, you know, good and bad, for them to give me their estimations. And you know, again, there's my weigh-in on here. I used 3 different weights. Now, the pictures I sent them, I was between 225 and 230 for every one of those pictures. The weigh-in the day of that I sent them the video that I feel terrible about, and I hate that they had to see it, I was like 226.8. I'd have to go back and look. And so that's, I'm using 225, 230, and 227.5 right in the middle. So high, low, and average. To plug into the calculator, and there will be screenshots of that, of course. And so let's get to the body fat percentages. We'll just start with Faz. Faz said I was 22%. He definitely gave me the highest body fat percentage, and that doesn't surprise me. Like I said, he has competed. He coaches people who compete. I figured he would be the most critical. In fact, I think I told him that. Like, I'm not going to show screenshots of all of our conversation because, you know, there's personal conversations and stuff. But I'm just going to give you all the screenshots of, you know, what they said in terms of body fat percentage. So Faz gave me 22%. So this is me at my fattest, according to Faz. So at 5'10", 225 and 22% body fat, that gives me a 25.3 FFMI. 23.4% chance of being natural. So even still, like, there's a 75% chance that I'm not natty at my lightest and fattest body fat percentage. Now, it's funny too how it works, or how it skews, because you bump that up 5 pounds to 230 and my FFMI goes up to 25.9, and now there's only a 14.3% chance of me being natty. So we're getting a little sus. And then putting it down the middle, 227 and a half, 25.6 FFMI, and 18.5% chance of being natty. So about 1 in 5 chance I'm natty there. And still, and that's, you know, again, this is the worst. So worst case scenario, I'm 75% chance of fake natty, which actually absolutely cracked me up. So that's the worst. Paris and Landon both gave me estimates. Paris said between 16 and 18%. My man Basement Bodybuilding, Landon said between 16 and 19%, and ultimately landed on 18%. So let's go with 16%, as that's the low estimate I've got. We just did the high. So going off the low, at 225, it gives me a 27.2 FFMI, 3.5% chance of being natty. So like we're super duper sus. At 230, 1.6% chance of being natty, 27.8 FFMI. I'm like 0.2 off of like the highest recorded natural ever. So again, still a possibility of being natty. It's just really sus. And then down the middle at 227.5, it gives me a 27.5 FFMI, 2.4% chance of being natty. So at 16%, I'm, you know, doing some nefarious things, maybe on Mike O'Hearn. Who knows? But that was the bottom end. And so for average, what I did for average, of course, Faz gave me 22. Jeffrey gave me 17 to 19, possibly 20. Paris gave me 16 to 18. Landon gave me 16 to 19 and decided on 18. So what I did is I took every one of those numbers. So I took Faz's 22. For Jeffrey, he gave me 17. Basically, he gave me 17 through 20. So I took 17, 18, 19, and 20. Paris gave me 16 through 18. So again, I took 16, 17, 18. And Landon gave me 16 through 19, but fell on 18. So just for the sake of having more data, I did 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 18 again, because he gave me all those numbers, and I just wanted to have, you know, as many numbers as possible to plug it in. And I came up with 18.07% body fat as an average, so we called it 18% for the calculator. So this is the average of all the numbers these four have given me. At 225, that would give me an FFMI of 26.6, 7.1% chance of being natty. So right there, just under 1 in 10, I am fake as fuck. At 230, it gave me a 27.2, 3.5% chance of being natty. Again, super sus, probably Mike O'Hearn, just not as famous or as good looking, unfortunately. And then at 227.5, gave me a 26.9 FFMI, 5.1% chance of being natty. So what does all this mean? It means fuck all to me. I really don't care. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was funny. I think the chart itself is pretty funny. Like on the website, like one of the readings for it is like average Caucasian male or something like that, and that absolutely cracked me up. But yeah, I was curious to see what other people thought. I had initially had myself pegged between 15 and 20%. And those are what percentages I was going to use had I done this myself. I was going to do 15, 17 and a half, and 20. I'm glad I reached out and asked. Again, not surprised Faz thinks I'm a fat ass. But it's all in love. Me and him actually had quite the conversation too. And he didn't want to hurt my feelings, and my feelings were never going to be hurt. I was looking for objective measures here. And I truly did think he would give me the worst worst body fat percentage just based on his experience and stuff. So I took that very much into account. But, you know, I just thought it was interesting to see, give me something to talk about, get some of the community involved, get you guys' opinions, you know, what you guys think about all of this. But, you know, at worst, my FFMI is 25.3, and like I said, 1 in 4 chance of being Natty. So at worst, I'm still probably Mike O'Hearn. At best, you know, I'm some genetic anomaly, which I assure you I am not. I think if more readings were done on more real naturals, more elite naturals, as time goes on, I think, you know, you would see some numbers changing in a higher direction, just because, you know, people are getting, the average is not getting better, but like the elite are getting more elite, just in sports and stuff in general. So it wouldn't surprise me if like top level natural competitors, FFMIs, are much higher now than like the silver era dudes were. As vaunted as those guys were, and this is not to knock them in any way, but you know, I think is mythologized a word? They're mythologized probably a bit more, because that's like the kind of last time that we knew that they were for sure Natty. And I think that causes people to think nowadays that everybody's a liar, which just isn't the case. But you know, if you have that mindset of everybody's lying and everybody is a fake Natty that's claiming they are, then when somebody does get caught, because there are fake Natties out there, it's just going to confirm your own biases, and you know, you're going to protect yourself in that way and think that you're always right, because there's always somebody else that's going to get caught. And when somebody is legitimately natural, you know, they can do whatever they can. You know, people pass drug tests all the time, and you know, go, oh, it's an IQ test, not a drug test. So it's like there's nothing anybody can do to prove 100% that they're natural, even when they are. But there is only ways to prove that somebody is not natural, and beyond a shadow of a doubt. So it skews things a little bit. But it's my little rant at the end. I want to thank Fazlifts, Jeffrey Verity Schofield, Bald Omni Man Paris, Basement Bodybuilding. Thank you all for helping me out. I really wanted to do this without my own biases in mind. So y'all are the real MVPs. Subscribe to all their channels. And I talked about links being in the description, and I hope I remember to put them in there by the time I upload this video. Peace!